Dennis Sperling needs a foot in his ass. And I'm going to tell you why he needs a foot in his ass. Fuck him on this shit. And I'm going to tell you why I say fuck him on this shit. And I don't even know why he's doing this shit. You know, especially him being a lawyer. You know, a successful lawyer at that. Sometimes I swear it makes me question, it makes me question how good he was at the practice. But I guess, the results speak for themselves. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know how, I guess you have lawyers that are just, they lie and they, and say untruths to win the case, right? They're like politicians. But I'm like, is that really necessary? Anyway, so Dennis posted on his Instagram a pool party of morbidly obese black women, or they look like they were at the club, right? And you know how in Houston and mainly I feel like all these bars are in Texas, like all these pool bars, because we don't have them on the East Coast, right? But they have all these pool bars. I've never experienced, any of these pool bars. That's like on my bucket list, like to go to one of these like pool bars. But anyway, they're at a pool bar. And, well, technically speaking, I've been in pool bars, but not in the States. I'll say that much. But, so you have this pool bar, and it's got these morbidly obese black women there. And Dennis doesn't put up, there's no caption. He just shows the clip of the women. It's real slick, right? So what he can do in response to me making this video is hit me with a bunch of plausible deniability. Oh, that's not why I posted it, and that's not the real bullshit, nigga. He got a whole comment section of black men that are looking at it like, see, and this reinforces the idea that our women are fat and morbidly obese and therefore unattractive, and that's why I gotta get me as a white woman, right? Got a whole comment section of dudes that are just ragging on the shit, and they're just as bad as Dennis is with him posting the shit. So, as always, I decided to do a little research before I just, came up with the commentary, because I had the same initial reaction that most of the guys that left comments had. I'm like, God damn, is it that bad out here? Is this really what our women are looking like? They're all just a bunch of morbidly obese women? Like, God damn, right? But then I said, hold on. And I saw a sign in the background that said, swim thick. And I'm like, I don't think it's just happen circumstance that you would have a sign that says slim thick. And we all know how a lot of sisters have moved the goalpost on what thick actually means. These women were morbidly obese. You could see it by looking at the video. But anyway, slim thick. So I'm like, you know what? I'm willing to bet that this is some sort of promotion or some sort of, club event. Go and I type in slim thick, bam, comes up right on Google. Click on it, takes me to the Instagram, scroll through the Instagram, and voila. A whole page dedicated to nothing but morbidly obese black women having fun in the sun and swimming and all that other shit, right? And I sat there and I was like, this motherfucker. I was like, this motherfucker's really gonna post this shit like, oh, look at our black women, oh, look at them. And I'm sitting there, the whole purpose of the venue is to cater to morbidly obese black women. But what Dennis's post would have you believing was that, black women on average are just out here on some morbidly obese shit. Yes, we have a 80% overweight issue, and like, I forget what it is. It's like, no, I think it's like 80% overweight and then like 60% are obese or something like that. So it is a problem. It definitely is a problem. But, again, look at that video. Like, that's out of proportion to what the reality is. But Dennis posted the shit with no caption. And I'm like, this is a venue. And I'm going to tell you what I don't like about what he's doing. First off, it further reinforces, and I hate to say it, but it further reinforces a lot of the shit that Chrissy says and Chrissy calls out about, the not just the colorism, but about, number one, dudes busting and ragging on women that they don't even want. It's obvious that most men don't want morbidly obese women. That's obvious. The other thing that it highlights is it highlights how you'll have men who will go out here and try to use shit like that to justify their preferences and justify going over the fence. So they'll use shit like that in order to justify. I'm like, you don't even need to go to that extreme. Again, here's where the intellectual dishonesty comes in. I don't need to go to the extreme of a woman who weighs 500 pounds, and all of her 400-pound friends in order to justify, me hopping the fence or getting with other races of women. I don't need to go to that extreme. The other thing is, and this is the part where personally I get irritated, because we all know that morbidly obese people feel insecure about swimming and wearing, bikinis and shit like that. They're going to be teased by children, ridiculed by adults, right? So what did they do? They did the very thing that a majority of black people should be doing whenever we run around and we feel disrespected or get tired of being disrespected. You go off and create your own shit. You have your own venue, your own events. And that's what this is, right? All of the normal sized people, right? They can't seem to keep their mouths shut. So the fat people said, hey, instead of being ridiculed and disrespected and everything else, we're going to go off and have our own venue. More power to them. I ain't got shit to say about it. But here comes Dennis posting this shit and having a comment section of black men come through and make a mockery of it. That's the very reason why they went off and created their own shit. It's already been established that you're not interested in those type of women. And the only men that are going to show up to those events are the men who are into those type of women. Why does this have to be a part of our conversation, our manosphere conversation? You see, like this goes right into like when niggas don't know when to stop. There was no reason to go over there. It's just like I was watching some shit on YouTube, and one of these manosphere channels, it was white guy's channel, and they like to go up there and show women how out of their mind they are and everything. And I'm like, cool, because a lot of bitches are fucked up in their minds and their entitlement and their expectations. But then they start doing shit like using porn stars to talk about which women are out here whoring and whatnot and how they get no respect. And I'm like, but we love whores. Like, what are you talking about? We love hoes. We love them. You know what I mean? Any modern day man that hasn't jerked off to freaking Lisa Ann, nigga, use a goddamn lie. Or talking to white boys, white boy, you a goddamn lie. You a goddamn lie. I mean, even the guy that made the video was talking about, her being splashed with DNA in the, so you've watched her shit then. You know what I'm saying? Again, there's a lot of single, lonely men out here. Now I want you to think about, what your world would be like, how stressed out you would be and how angry you would be and just all the frustration that you would have in you. You'd probably be on some mass shooter shit if you couldn't rub one out every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? We need hoes. We need porn stars. Shit. A hoe is exactly what I want to run into on a Saturday night. That's exactly what I want to run into. I want to run into a chick that, I go meet her at the bar, we have a couple drinks, dance a little, whatever, and then, at the end of the night, I'm all up in them guts. Yes. So again, look, I'm not condoning, a chick being a hoe. I don't want my daughter to be a hoe. I don't want her to be in pornography, right? Not that I have a daughter. I'm just saying hypothetically. I don't want that shit from my own, right? So it's kind of one of those things where I acknowledge and know how much I participate in the very thing that these guys are claiming they despise. So what I do is I'm just indifferent to it. I'm like, man, leave her the fuck alone. You know what I'm saying? You over there jerking off to her shit, and now you want to sit there and harass her on the street. Oh, Lisa Ann, and splash a drink in your face and act like it's cum or some shit like that. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing shit like that? Do you want porn to end? How about I just come over your house and just disconnect your internet? For a whole month. How would you like that shit? Because majority of the shit that you searching is shit on Pornhub any goddamn way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand the need for the extra layer of disrespect. Yes, if they get beside themselves and talk about I demand respect and this, that, and the third, it's like, chick, I seen you, freaking having sex with multiple dudes. Like, yeah, no, you're not gonna get that. But at the same time, I don't need to go out of my way to disrespect, Lisa Ann or any other porn star that I've most likely also rubbed one out to. This shit is dumb. Shit sounds like it's like people that talk about, bitching about saving the planet and shit like, oh, save the planet. Yeah. I noticed that you got that Dodge Hellcat Demon. I know you got that gas guzzling car, right? Talking about save the planet. It's like the same type of people. They want to go fast. Oh, I like speed, man. You know what I mean? But only want to drive economy cars, right? I'm like, well, you do know that the only way that you're going to get high speed is with a car that's not an economy car. Like, it's going to be a gas guzzler, right? Same thing again. The whole thing. Yes, and these bitches should be virgins. And truth be told, how many men out here can really tolerate a virgin? How many men out here want to go through 9 months of bullshit just to get some ass from a fucking virgin? Right? A lot of y'all want ass. Y'all don't want marriage. You want ass. Let's be real about that. Y'all motherfuckers acting like, oh man, I would have been married if all these women were virgin. Bullshit. Y'all just as bad as these white boys that run around bitching about, Mexicans at the border taking our jobs and shit, and they got all the smoke in the world. You know what? God damn it. I done totally forgot. Shit is closed. Fuck. That's alright. God damn it, man. I'll just work out back at home. Fuck. Totally forgot. That's why I need to get rid of this fucking gym, because this gym's hours are trash. If I go to the other gym, that shit is probably still open. Anyway, totally forgot. But it's like they'll sit there and they'll bitch about Mexicans stealing our jobs and all that type of shit. But then they got no smoke for the white guy that's sitting outside Home Depot with the pickup truck saying you, and you. Well, maybe if you would stop hiring them, the Mexicans would stop coming. But nah, they got no smoke for the white guy with the pickup truck at 7 o'clock in the morning outside of Home Depot. They got no smoke for him. I mean, not only was Dennis's post, intellectually dishonest. Again, for a group of people that everybody says that they don't want, and they go off and create their own venue, and then to mock the venue because, they're in their own space. Like, I mean, that shit is just cruel on top of cruelty. You know what I'm saying? It's just cruel for no reason. And again, Dennis likes to run around and espouse Christianity. Like I said, one of the reasons why I don't fuck with these Christians. That's why I don't fuck with them. I'm like, is that really Christian-like to sit there and mock a bunch of morbidly obese women who create their own venue because we don't want to see them when we go out? We don't want to see them at the pool bar. We want to see nothing but bad bitches and a whole bunch of women that look like Lori Harvey. That's all we want to see. We don't want to see these women. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, what is the point? What is the sense in saying anything about them? You know what I mean? Dennis should take that shit down. That's just my opinion on it. I'm like, again, this is inaccurate information that you're letting, again, see, this is the problem I have with people who are supposed to be intelligent. The problem I have with people who are supposed to be intelligent is when it comes to certain shit, I'm like, nigga, you should know better. A dumb motherfucker, I can see them, just dumb and intellectually lazy. I can see them posting some stupid shit, and I'm like, this is not accurate information. Oh, my bad. But I'm like, if it literally took me 30 seconds to be like, watch the clip, be like, what's this slim thick shit on the wall? Google the shit, pull it up, and go, oh, this is what they do. This is their thing. They go and they make parties for morbidly obese people so that they can experience, or getting some relief from the hot weather and being in a pool without, Snickers and snares and people talking shit about them. I'm like, hey, that's some cool shit. I wish black people would do that about a lot of other shit, as opposed to sitting around and tolerating the disrespect from white people or any other group. So more power to them. But here comes Dennis. Look at these women. That's what our women look like. See? That's why we got to go out here and go to the Dominican Republic and get us some Latinas. I'm like, intellectually dishonest, bro. And you know that. Completely intellectually dishonest. And put that out there and then just let motherfuckers think like that's what it is. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. That's my video. SWP out. Don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe. Hold on. And let me add this, because this goes right into the videos that I just finished making about patriarchy and them wanting to redefine things and them pushing back on the standards of patriarchy, and how patriarchy literally doesn't, it doesn't allow for failure. It doesn't allow for other forms of acceptance. It really doesn't. Again, even when it comes to the men, like I said, talk like Kevin. Everybody's worshiping Kevin like Kevin's a god. Let Kevin make a video talking about, in order to be a high value black man, you need to be here. Here is the benchmark. If you fall below this, you are not a high value man. And niggas started losing their minds. They went ballistic. And these dudes will sit there and see a bunch of morbidly obese women and say, see, you don't meet the beauty standard. You fall below that. Bitch, you ain't shit. But talk about their money, and all of a sudden, dudes are like, but Kevin, I serve the Most High. That means I'm a high value man. But Kevin, I got this sweet twinkle of white Jesus in my eye. That means something. But talk about some morbidly obese black women. Nah, bitch, you ain't it. You ain't the standard. You gotta look like Buffy the Body. You gotta look like Bria Miles. You gotta look like Lori Harvey. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be battered in the motherfucker. If you ain't battered in the motherfucker and you don't make my dick hard, then bitch, you ain't shit. Again, I mean, y'all don't know when to let it go. I'm like, oh, where the big girls going? I'm not in the big girls. Where the big girls going? Oh, they going over. Oh, good. Oh, hold on. Let me help you with your bags. Good. I'm saying, if you don't want to see them there, I don't want to see them there. Right? I want to see bad bitches. I'm here buying bottles and having a good old time. I'm not here. I didn't come here to pay for the experience of shit that I don't want to take home. Right? That's how it works. Right? You don't go to the strip club with the big bitches in the strip club or the unattractive women in the strip club unless that's what you're into. So if they go somewhere else and they're not in your vicinity, why are you bitching? Like, this is as bad as white people. White people do this bullshit. White people, we don't want these niggers around us breathing up all the white man's air. y'all niggas need to go back to Africa, right? They talk all this shit. Black people go off, try to carve out their own space. Hold on now, that sounds like reverse racism. Reverse race, nigga, you just got finished saying you didn't want me in your space. Then I go off and I create my own space, and now you got something to complain about. Now you bitching. You see? I mean, seriously speaking, if all the black people actually went back to Africa and made Africa look like actual fucking Wakanda, I bet you white people would be bitching. Because see, ain't nobody really bitching about some shit when the shit still looks raggedy. When the shit still looks fucked up. They're not going to bitch as hard as if you went and you made it look better than their shit. But I mean, god damn. You don't want them around you. They go off, create their own space or create their own venue for an event. And you got something to say about it. I mean, the beginning of all black empowerment starts with this shit. You know, we can't go to the predominantly white universities? Okay, we're going to form HBCUs. I've never had a white guy bitch about HBCUs. Well, y'all got black universities? Yeah, because we couldn't go to your shit. That's why they were created. Don't sit there and try to act like, black people just came up with because black racism is equivalent to white racism. No, they created it in response to your racism and bigotry, motherfucker. I mean, seriously, like, what the fuck is wrong with Dennis, man? Why would he post that as though he's saying something by posting that? Yeah, that's where you're going to have a concentration of morbidly obese women. When we have the non-racially ambiguous, Chocolate City beauty contest, BET award type shit, then that's where all the bad chocolate sisters is going to be. I don't want to hear anything about how, oh man, these bitches on the, hey man, this is the black beauty contest. Every bitch in here starts at fine. If you bitching in this space, then clearly you don't like black women, no matter how attractive they are. So you need to go somewhere else. I mean, you can't find anything in here that moves you, then nigga, get the fuck on. But see, niggas don't want to acknowledge that because they feel guilty. So they got to make it like, oh, well, see, I had to go and fuck with, these other races because, black women, I mean, look at them. It's just a pool full of diabetes. I'm like, that's real slick. But see, and this is what frustrates me about brothers. Because I'm like, in other words, and the same thing applies to the women too, because what Dennis did in this by posting this shit, it's no different than Divested Zealot. It's no different, or Lexus Exodus, or any of these divestors. It's no different when you got to point to the extreme. You know what I mean? Like when you got a sister and she has a black man that's a doctor or a lawyer standing right in front of her. And she still wants to talk about Ray Ray and Pookie and Dusties. I'm like, why are you talking about Ray Ray and Pookies and Dusties? You could at least tailor whatever complaints you have or whatever problems you have. You could at least tailor it to the educated lames or the caliber of brothers that are before you. No, but they want to keep it. The Ray Ray and Pookie argument. They want to keep it, that way. And I'm like, see, that's somebody who, like, no matter what you do, you cannot rise to some standard coming from you that they're willing to accept, because they've already made it up in their mind that you can never be that. You can never be that which they desire or that which they accept. You can never be that. Which is why, in order to shoot you down, they go all the way to the extreme. They go all the way to extreme. Again, like, perfect example. I don't need to go all the way to an unattractive black woman to shoot down, God rest her soul, Aisha K. Faines. I'm like, no, Aisha K. Faines was on some power tripping shit. But what she was on had nothing to do with how she looked. She wasn't being disqualified because she was unattractive. She was being disqualified because she was coming with the women love power feminist bullshit. You see, I don't need to. I don't. If I was shooting down Aisha, I don't need to go and bring up Precious to sit there and talk about how Aisha just ain't it because Precious exists, huh? Yeah, because they're both dark skinned, so yeah, that's my problem with Aisha. It doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense. But again, when you get into these extreme echo chambers, that's what you end up with. That's funny because I was watching that Destiny versus, I forget what the guy's name is, but this channel where the white guy was debating another white guy, and he was like, where there's poverty, there's fucking crime. And then the dude actually responded, like, he tried to point out that he was like, yeah, but there's more crime where in Appalachia than there is where white people have resources, and there's more crime in poor impoverished black people than there are wealthier black people. And he was like, no, black people that are wealthy still commit more crimes than white people. Like, huh? How? In what universe? By definition, if you're wealthy, you don't need to fucking commit crimes. But the dude is so racist. He's so blinded by his racism that he actually formulated in his mind that if I have a black man that's a millionaire and a white man that's a millionaire, the black man is more likely to commit crime, even though they're living the same fucking quality of life. I'm like, why would because it's in your DNA. See, once you start getting into all that stupid shit, again, there is no satisfying. There's the other side. Like, if a person believes that criminality isn't built into black people's DNA, even when they're wealthy, which is a state of being, it's a condition, right? That you have access to resources, right? Which is what crime is rooted in, whether you have access to resources or not. He wants to make it about, like, no, black people just have a propensity to crime, even when they have the resources that would totally negate why they would have to commit the crime in the fucking first place. This is the same shit. He didn't have to go all the way to morbidly obese women in the fucking pool, to say, hey, I got an issue with sisters and what they did. And I'm gonna tell you the other thing, like, even with Dennis, I'm like, you using that video clip, but I seen your ex-wife. Your ex-wife is fine. You still got pictures or videos of you and your ex-wife when y'all were doing your lawyer shit. You still got that online. Your ex-wife was a good-looking woman. So again, like, why the need to go to this? Clearly, you found a good-looking brown-skinned woman. I don't like. Again, this is why, certain conversations about addressing the other side's issues, whether male or female, this is why they fall apart. Because people want to be extreme, because they're so busy in trying to slam the other side that they're just radical, and at that point you really can't you really can't put weight on a lot of the things that they say, because it comes from a biased perspective, just like a racist. Well, I think black people who are wealthy commit more crimes than white people who are wealthy. We're talking about people who have wealth. That's who we're talking about. People who have wealth don't commit crimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, just nuts. And it's probably more white people that are wealthy that commit crimes because, they're in those sort of positions and control the infrastructure and the economy and shit like that. And that's where every time I see somebody who's gone to jail for embezzling or inside trading, they haven't been black. So I mean, it's bonkers, yo. It's just bonkers. I'm blown away. Like, and again, I get so irritated when, number one, it's men that are supposed to be representing the educated lame category. And I also get irritated when it comes to individuals who are supposed to be the more intelligent, upper crust intellectually of black men. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, come on, man. You don't have to play these antics to highlight the dysfunction in our women. You don't got to play this game. Yes, they have an obesity problem, but to sit there and use something that only exists for totally unrelated purposes is just like, that's just nuts to me. Anyway, that's all I got to say. That's my video. SWP out.